welcome to the very first, hopefully of many, studio vlogs from Wonderstruck and Squirrel. So it is finally for a school day. If you haven't seen me before and this is your first kind of guys, basically I am a home educating mum. Kiddo is with me most of the time. I nip in here whenever I can, either in the evenings, or I try and arrange like an hour or so a day that I can come up here and while he's busy, and doesn't always work out that way, but at least this one day a week when he goes to forest school I have some consecutive hours of work and I love my room. Basically what we're looking at here is the hope is that I can extend from our weekly vlogs and the other videos that we do and kind of exhibit the other side of what I do a little bit for you guys. So you might have found yourself here via a keyword type thing, and so if you're an arty person, this is your first introduction to me. Goodness knows what you're thinking, to be honest. Hi, this is me. This is my very messy, most of the time at least, craft room slash art studio slash office. Anything that's creative that's happening which is centric to me, not the rest of the family, this is my room. It's the little box room in our house. We managed to convert it last year. The endeavour originally was that my husband and I were going to try and launch a business together, but we realised, basically long story short, after a solid 10 months of trying to make it work and trying to get it off the ground, that neither of us were actually passionate about it, which is a problem. Instead, I said, you know what I really want to do? I want to paint. I want to paint and I want to make. And so we both agreed, okay, then that's what we're going to do. And within a month or so, we had gained more traction than I ever could have imagined. While it was sort of like the somewhat disappointing chug on Etsy towards Christmas, and I'm thinking maybe this isn't going to work. One craft fair, we took off, it was amazing. I had wholesale requests and things like that. That is for some of my prints, that is for mostly earrings and stickers. So I do usually nature themed or inspired wildlife-y earrings or jewellery. I also do impressed bangles, and then again with my illustration work I started off just doing my prints and stickers and things like that, and die cuts and cards, all of which I produce right here. On top of that though, I had the most amazing client and an author contact me who I'd met several years ago, more than several years ago, and when Leah was a baby. And she has written the most incredible series of books and she would like me to illustrate them for her. So this is now kind of the two key parts of my work. So at any one time in this studio you will see me working on my own brand, Wonderstruck, which is the earrings, the stickers and paintings and things. But also you will be seeing my illustration work, which I kind of class in the same, but it's not mine to sell. However, she is very happy with you seeing the progress works and seeing the book come together, which is amazing. So the book characters are all wildlife characters. I'm not going to say the name, and I won't say the author name either yet because she may not be comfortable with it. But she's happy for me to talk about my work and include all of the illustrations that I'm working on in it. So that's really exciting, and so the vlog has been born. This is one of those things where I wanted to put the weight in, I wanted to put the effort in, and I was expecting the long haul. Very, very eerie. That's my Frozen 2 notification for a message, ignore it. But yeah, so that is where we landed up here, and since we decided to start vlogging the rest of it, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna join those incredible folks who do the vlogging of their work and see how it goes. So now you've got the background, now you've got me. Goodness knows if you've turned over already. I have got my tea. We've actually got some daylight, which frankly recently is, well, that's a thing, that's a commodity in fact at the moment, trying to do anything by natural daylight, which when you're using very pale washes on watercolours, not great in the evening by artificial daylight. I mean, you try. No, doesn't help. The first job for today is drink my tea. Second job for today is I am going to finish these paint. I've got a whiteboard, not just consulting a wall. or to whiteboard, finish the squirrel paintings! Right now, we are working on some character development. We have already confirmed quite a lot of them, but as part of the package that I've put together, I really wanted to make sure that she had some pictures in hand that she can enjoy. I've not done this before. I don't know how any other people do it, but this is what we've decided between the author and I. She's a new author, I'm a new illustrator. We're kind of doing it our way. So yeah. If you have any advice, please let me know, because right now we're winging it and hoping for the best. But I am winging it with a relative amount of research and an open mind, so contact me. Mouse is done. Mouse is the main character. I do have to finish some outlines for her, and then I'm working through the rest of the main characters. They've actually all got beautiful jobs. They've got very different elements to their characters, and you'll hopefully see this develop through the vlogs too. But today I am finishing Squirrel. So actually I need to move my board because I was doing some sketches the other night. I'm going to move that over. We've just got hair on it. Hair. We're going to see hair later maybe, or another day. And we are going to focus on finishing Squirrel. So with my earrings, a lot of the stuff that I do is either on wood, amazing wood shapes that, and my lovely wood guy says me he's so tolerant of the amount of stuff I throw at him. In terms of, I've got an idea, can you do this for me? Very, very rough draft, and he somehow produces what I need. He's amazing. You right, Noah? All right then. Okay, studio dog has abandoned me. Anyway, when I'm not using wood, I'm using polymer clay, and I love painting on polymer clay and just working with it to create new things, you know. And for Crimbo, I thought I would make things a little bit easier because my hands aren't great. I can just about grip pencils and paintbrushes for a little while. I do struggle sometimes with the pressure of writing in particular, but kneading clay is just, I can do it, but it hurts a lot. So for Christmas, I asked my Secret Santa, we do Secret Santa within the family. I can't even get this out, oh ground. It's a pasta machine. You do the rolling for me. I know the rest of the polymer clay world is way ahead of me and has had them for years, but it's new to me. Let's put it together. Oh, crumbs alive. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, hello, right. Well, you go down there then. What am I doing here? Oh, there's parts. Oh, bubble wrapping parts. Oh, good gracious. Right, okay. Alright then. Alright, okay. Well, I think we'll get the hang of this. It's definitely got some cutting and rotating things for actually making pasta. When I unwrapped this, my mum got very excited. She thought I was going to take up making my own pasta. I mean, I cook and I bake a bit. But to be honest, I think her assumption that this led to food was ever gonna, I mean, like, no. No. I mean, I'm not a big Italian food person. And while I might make my own pizza dough, sometimes, in fact Leo does it now, I'm not about to make my own pasta because I've only got so many hours in a day. Oh, hello. How are you? Good grief, he has some heft. Heft, good word, heft. Heft. Right, the possessor of heft. How do I use you? More plastic. Right. How do I, okay, parts. Let's have a little look-see. Oh, I think we're gonna need to Google. Bear with. Okay. I mean, the other option being is to read the instructions. Everything's totally fine. We've got this. Right. Let's be having ya. Okay, and in English? No? No. No. Oh good, pictures. Let's do this IKEA style. No, that's how you make pasta. Oh wait, no, this bit's there. Hey! Oh! Yes. Well, that makes far more sense now, doesn't it? A clamp to keep it to the table. Yes. I'm going to be forever unclamping it. But this is fine. Do this. Let's have a go. I managed it. I figured it out. It was very simple. There's only been like 2 minutes. I've taken off the other bolty bit, which does all the ribbons and looks like it might mutilate me if I accidentally put my fingers in there. Everything's done and it's on the table and ta-da! New thing. You told it, probably not put my head near it. Yes. Either way. Oh, look, a dial. So I can pick something. Oh, it's how thin. Nice, nice. All right, let's give it a little test run. I've just got a little bit there. I've worked it softer. I guess we'll just see what happens, right? Okie dokie, feed you in there. I've got it on setting. I don't know what I've got it on the setting of, but I think it's okay. Let's see. Oh, hello. Not bad. Okay, so it's a little crumbly at the moment. I wonder if I've just not worked it well enough at the moment. It's a bit air bubbly. I don't know. I'm gonna have a little Google and see if there's any tips, anything I should be bearing in mind. I did already give it a little clean, so it hasn't left any smudges, thankfully. Oh, that's gonna make my life so much easier. Right, okay, off for a wee Google. So I've been doing some research and I've been playing at using it to condition as well as flatten and roll, and I'm new to this, okay? I've kind of used it throughout my life, do little models and things like that wherever I've needed it for a project, but actually my hands hurt so much when conditioning it anyway, it's really tricky. So this is going to be a lifesaver. It's not just for flattening and rolling, which is half the task for me, but actually for conditioning. So I've learnt plenty. I have probably filled the clay I'm working with right now up with holes through trial and error. Holes, air bubbles, which I don't mind actually, because I like the look it gives the clay, particularly in this colour when it kind of flecks. I think the term they use is plaking or plaking or something like that, but I like using it as a background. A lot of the time I'll do it intentionally. I'll actually overwork the clay so that I can get that. I found it accidentally once and I immediately went, that's amazing, that looks like the background of like a bubbly ocean scene or something, and I painted jellyfish and stuff like that, and I love it and it does sell well. So I have to say I'm not worried. I quite like it. It gives it sort of opaly look. So I'll overwork it if I need to. But I can't believe how okay my hands are now. Usually they're in a lot of pain by now. I do have chronic conditions. My hands do really suffer. And that's going to make all the difference. Happy days. So interestingly, the other day I was asked when I would have some more sticker sets being made, which is interesting because at the craft fairs I sold quite a few, but online I've only sold very literally like two sets. But it's nice to be asked. I have some remaining stock. And I do have some more ideas. However, I am going to focus on just these bits. I would like to get some sticker stock down to the shop. Etsy, I am giving a sort of, I'm keeping Etsy open, so if you want to go and take a peek, there are some things up there, and any penny helps. But right now, anything I am creating is having to go straight up to the shop because I really do owe them a bit more inventory. They've been ever so patient with me now since they've reopened again for January. and I need to replenish. At the end of the day, the income is invaluable. And now that I'm able to put a bit more focus on it, because we're all out of the woods in terms of feeling sick and the winter blues and etc. We all had a well-needed break. I needed to put some attention on the house, and we are back in the flow of things, and I think I'm balancing everything a bit better. I mean, I get this over Christmas every year. I kind of go, I don't know who I am, and what do I do with my house? And then well before February hits, I start feeling much better again. Cocktail stick in my hair. Leo's storybooks because I was going to get started on painting Mole, and I've got the basic body that I'm really happy with, the author's really happy with, but yeah, we're kind of in a conundrum about his feet, his feet and his claws, and every time I think I've got it about right and it's not too overwhelmingly big and aggressive and things, something still doesn't fit. And the author has also pointed out that she's not quite sure. She likes Mole as he is, as I've designed him, except there's something not quite right about his feet. So we are unanimous in that. I've got some pictures of moles upstairs, and I've just thought I need to go looking for some other moles. So I checked through Leo's storybooks. There's a few, but mostly they're very small minor characters alongside other bigger characters. So you don't really get to see a lot of their hands and things, but I've got a couple. Actually a surprising amount of moles, but then again not surprising when knowing my child and how much he loves wildlife. So there's that. Yeah, so I'm going to take my collection of books and bits upstairs, and I don't have long until he's back. Dun dun dun! So here's Mole. A few of Mole, when the hair's lurking up there because it's just doing some random sketches on the sheet. But yeah, I'm mostly happy, but yeah, you see what I mean? Something not quite right. But for instance, look at this happy chap. He's having a great day. But he is like he's like a big black ping pong ball with huge claw feet. And while he's happy to see me, except for the fact that he looks a bit threatening. So conveying that to picture, to keep Mole looking very sweet and lovely, but to have much bigger claws, but without them looking threatening. Right, let's figure this out. It's exciting stuff, really. I mean, how often do you get to sit down and really study the anatomy of a mole? I mean, they're super cute. But what do you do with the thing? That's my mole. Like half goofy, half silly with the face and the can't see and the. I'm not painting a great picture, am I? This is actually getting a little bit tricky. Maybe I'm overthinking this. It's the mole claws. In a lot of fiction and a lot of the books I've seen, unless the mole is like the main character and you see him up close, mostly the claws are just like fingers of very, very toned claws, and they're all oversized. But then the mole is rarely doing anything with them. They're just standing like this. Even in some of the other books, like these guys that I found, there's moles in that you see just very chunky outlines and things, and it's difficult because when they're different style to yours as an illustrator, often it doesn't translate anyway. And again, Mole in here, slightly closer to my style, but still the outlines are very, very simple, and his claws are just slightly oversized, and again in just lolling. And I think in the book Mole is likely to be using them and articulating them, and I've actually used him use a lot of fingers for his positioning and things that he's going to be doing. Like there's a couple of pictures where he's quite bashfully just holding his own fingers, another where he's actually actively digging and they're pressing into soil, and others where he's using it to press and he's trying to climb, so his back claws are at an angle, of course, to kind of get that realistic pressure. And I don't think I've done them over cartoony, but she would like them shovelly, and I'm not sure how to make them shovelly and articulating, if that makes sense. Is that even the right word, articulating? I think it is. I'm so tired. So it's now coming up on about 7:30. I am shattered because we ended up decluttering under the stairs, and it took over the entirety of the downstairs. I am aching. I really want to get some jewellery done. So I am packing my little travel case, which is where if I want to get some more done but I want to spend some time with Darren, I take it downstairs and I do it down in the living room. So I'm going to pack the new shapes that we got done, some of the paints that I haven't already got in here, and some other shapes, my wood shapes, and see what I can put together, maybe with a movie that you can come to. Done. So I've taken some of the shapes that I developed earlier. I've had this idea that I wanted for a little while. I've kind of dabbled with it before. It was elements of like when I'm doing my mountains, where a lot of my movements they're not super fine, there's something slightly rougher about it. I don't know, for me it feels really playful. So I've used the way that the clay has come out slightly opalescent and jadey. I've really enjoyed the shapes, and I've made some very textured kind of gold across it all, and I'm just kind of planning out which fixings to use with them would look kind of nice. The other thing I am working on are these. So I painted these I think a week or so ago, a little runny run, and there we go, not a peacock, woodpecker on some birch discs. I'm quite happy with them. And I'm thinking, just to complement the little purple flowers that are kind of this pretty lavender lilac-y purple, I've got these nice beads, and I was thinking if I kept to the really petite muted tone hoops there, look. Focus on it though. They're so small that it doesn't hang particularly far, and maybe just to have a couple on each side of it, if I can keep them in place, because actually it looks like the fixing on that side's a bit small. Maybe just a couple in the front to ride up until the earlobe. I will experiment, and I dare say I shall post on Instagram in the next little while. Anywho, that's been me. I'm going to wrap it up in the next little while. Got a couple of bits that I want to varnish and make sure that they're really hardy to it all, and I might just try and compile a few bits now. But otherwise, I hope you have enjoyed this studio vlog, the very first studio vlog. I was very waffly, but if you like that kind of thing, then stick around and subscribe. Check out the descriptions for where you can buy certain things that I'm producing that you might see here. And if you follow along on Instagram, then you can definitely help me with input of ideas and things like that, checking works in progress, and keeping up on anything I'm putting out there and polling out there for questions on the Insta stories. If you are also interested in what we're doing the rest of our lives, you can head over to our other videos which are around, and you can explore more of us. Anywho, have a really terrific time this week, and I will catch you very soon. I'm gonna go to bed. Take care. Night night.